Well, we finally did it. We booked our first red trading day in the account challenge since starting the challenge. This is day 13. We're down 0.5%, a loss of $12. Doesn't seem super significant. We traded SPY multiple times. Well, I traded SPY multiple times, and it was just a wreck this morning. I know this chart looks crazy. I'm going to go over and explain all of these trades that I took to you. It's in real time, it made sense. Hindsight, this looks like trash. Basically, I got caught up in the chop in SPY this morning and wound up giving back profits. I started the day off green and wound up red on the day, which is why my loss is so minimal. But a point that I wanted to make, and this is what I posted here too in the challenge account write-up. The point that I wanted to make is that I only took one green trade. The other two trades that I took were both red, and I'm still only slightly red on the day. I'm very close to break even here. So this is a good example of proper risk management, even with a couple of errors that I made on the final trade. So let's go ahead and break down what happened today on SPY and the entries and exits that I took. So I'm on the 1 minute time frame here. SPY, because we had this drop down yesterday, SPY to me was looking weak on the rally up in the pre-market session. And then what further confirmed that for me was just before market open, we had this drop down lower on SPY. And I was like, okay, good. This is kind of confirming where my mind was at as far as what trades I wanted to take today. I was kind of already leaning short biased towards SPY. I know that anything could happen, so I went into the market with a mindset of no bias, but I figured and had a feeling that if SPY could not hold up over this green line, which is the previous day's close, right? If SPY could not hold up over the previous day's close, we wanted to short. I wanted to short this and bring it down even further. And I was both correct on this and wrong at the same time. So the opening move down confirmed what I was already thinking. Okay, SPY rejected at the previous day's close. This is great. We're going to look to short this rally on the way back up and bring it back down into the low of day. So that's what we did. I broke the rules though. I traded within the first 5 minutes. Took my first short entry here, breaking the rules, because I was looking for the next leg down there. I wanted to catch that flush move and be a part of it. So I took a starter position here. The stock rallied up. My stop loss originally was 409, but because I was in a starter position at the peak of this candle, I was only down 10%. 10% is my normal cut position when I'm in with a full size, but because I was in starter, I could give this a little bit more room to work. So I knew above 409, the final stop out would be 409.5 or 409.6 up here at the previous day's close. We didn't even get that far. This candle started to print red, and I added into the position here. So now all of a sudden, my average was down here, moved up to about midway through this candle. So we were sitting really pretty here. We got the drop down into the low of day. I think we were close to like 18% on this trade. I went ahead and closed it out. Great trade, right? Bought in short here, added short on the confirmation rejection there, sold into the low of day, green on the day. Then I was looking for further direction. We got a rally up, and it started rejecting this one single point of resistance. So we potentially could have went short again here. We could have went short again here. But I didn't know what was going to happen with SPY. It was making higher lows at the time as well, so I was like, okay, let's just wait for direction and see where SPY goes. So we did. We waited, and then we get this drop down candle into the low of day. So I'm like, perfect. This is what we've been waiting for. This is our directional decision candle. We're going to look to short the rally. So I did the same thing that I was looking to do over here. I bought in on the rally, looking to short, with a stop loss placed at 408.5. And why there? Well, because that's the price point where SPY made this directional decision. So if this was to continue down, it should not break back over this price point. This should have rejected and pulled back. And if it had done that, I would have added into the position short again, just like I did over here, and then closed it into the low of day. But because we did not get that move, SPY rallied back up. I just wound up cutting this position there. This loss, I was still green on the day with this loss, but this loss is not something that is my fault or your fault or anybody else's fault. We did exactly what we set out to do, which is short the rally on SPY after we got a directional decision down. I would probably, in real time, take this trade 9 times out of 10. You know, it's just one of those things that it did not work out for us. There's nothing we can do other than manage the risk. So we managed the risk. We took a smaller position size, cut the position there, still green on the day. Okay, no harm, no foul. SPY pushed up, rejected yet again at this same resistance point, rejected yet again. We stayed out of the trade, and I was like, I'm done for the day. I'm not going to trade unless SPY breaks over this previous day's close, right? So it rejected yet again, and then all of a sudden we get this nice volume coming in and a directional decision up on SPY. So at this time, I'm thinking, I'm done for the day, but we just got a directional move on SPY with nice volume. Maybe this could be a breakout move, right? And so what I did here, this is really this is the trade that put me red on the day. What I did here was a couple of things, including a couple of errors, and unfortunately, this trade is definitely all my fault for me being red on the end of the day. So SPY broke up to the top side. I was looking to go long on the dip. Simple as that. I wanted to see the previous day's close hold as support, but I had a feeling that maybe this is not going to hold, and maybe we're going to get a pullback to test this old resistance right here as a point of new support over here. So I set a limit order while this was coming down. I set a limit order to buy, a buy stop order long, undercutting the bid, so that when SPY pulled back to this price point, I would get filled and we'd be able to go right back up. This candle, this drop happened very fast. I got filled and was immediately down on the trade. Not what I intended to happen. So that was mistake number one. I think that I, under normal circumstances, would not have undercut the bid, but because there was so much volume here, and because I think that I wanted to make some of this money back up, maybe I got a little overzealous and was like, yeah, this is going to bounce. Let's go for it. So rather than waiting on confirmation here, I just went ahead and placed the order to buy. I think that that is mistake number one, because this candle, when this drop happened, immediately I was like, oh, this is not going to work. This is not going to work out for me because it's not holding the support point that I want. It's not holding the previous day's close. So immediately I was like, oh, God, okay, well, let me get ready to this position. So we did get a slight bounce here. And I said, you know what, if it goes any lower than this, because of this was also like a minor support point, or resistance point rather. If it goes any lower than this, I'm going to cut, right? And that's where that purple arrow is there for. So I went ahead and placed a hard stop out order at the purple arrow just below this green candle. And then this move happened. And I was still in the position. So what happened? I was out of buying power on this account at this time, and I think rather than clicking to set a hard stop order, what I did was accidentally click to buy some more contracts, and when that happened, the order got rejected because I didn't have enough buying power, so my limit order to stop out was never even placed, though I thought it was. So I meant to stop out here, and had I stopped out here, I would actually still be green on the day. But this flush happened, and I wasn't able to get out until the bottom of this candle. And at that point, I just market sold. I was like, you know what? This is a bad trade. I'm caught up right now. I just need to get out. So this trade, I wound up taking about a 25% loss on, and it was totally unintentional. So a couple of errors, right? The first trade was really good. Second trade, I think that was fine. You know, it's just a trade that didn't work out. The third trade, I should not have placed a limit order to undercut the bid. I should have waited on the bounce confirmation first, because if I seen this candle, I probably never would have taken the trade. And then once I was in the trade, I should have made sure that my stop loss was actually placed, which I didn't, right? So that led to a bad fill and a bad sell, and that's what put me ultimately red on the day. Again, I'm not superhuman. I do make mistakes, and I wanted to share this because it's a really good example of that happening. But what is really impressive about even taking these 2 losses and the 1 win is the risk management. You know, it's only a $12 loss. This loss is smaller than any other green day that I've taken, including the very first green day, right? $51. So that loss is much smaller than any other gain that I've had, and we're only trading with profits, so it's not that big of a deal. But this is a stark reminder that when you get complacent in the market, you will get humbled. And I am I guess lucky that I was probably out of buying power at this time, because had I had more capital, maybe I would have went in with more size and realized a much larger loss. All right. Okay, so that's it. That's the trade breakdown on SPY. Very important lesson: manage your risk. Thank you for watching. Press the like button for me if the videos helped you out. Take care. We will make this money back. Don't you worry about it. And I will see you all in chat. Peace.